What is up guys, Stark here. I am back with another Fate video, and in today's video we are doing another character spotlight for one of the new characters that came out on the new banner, and that is going to be the 3-star assassin Okada Izo. Now, Okada is a very interesting servant for many reasons, but the most important reason I feel is that he is the first ever 3-star limited servant. So basically, unless he's rated up on a specific banner, you can't get him, and that's a little unusual for 3-star servants. So the only other person I can think of that comes to mind is going to be Columbus. Now, he's technically not limited, but he is story locked, so you'll have to pull on the story gacha in order to get him, or pull on like a class rate up for writers. So other than that, Izo is extremely rare to get, and probably you should pull on this banner to get at least one copy of him so you have him. He's a very good servant, and he is a very popular choice for Grail. I might actually use my Grails on him as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this character a little bit more in depth, and you guys can make your own decisions afterwards. So he is a 3-star assassin. So at level 70, he has 8,844 HP and 6,879 attack. This will rank him 180th overall in HP and 169th overall in attack. Really, not much else you could say there. He's a 3-star servant, so his stats are obviously going to be very low. His star absorption is 97, his star generation is 25%, and his normal phantasm generation on his attacks are going to be 0.79, and on defense it'll be 4%. So Okada is a very good character, although he is a 3-star servant, so he does lack in the stats department, which is why a lot of people grail him in order to bring his stats up so he can compete. He can do a lot of damage, and he's just a really cool character overall in my opinion. Yeah, not much else to say there about that. He's a cool character, very limited character, so try and make sure you get him as soon as you can on the few banners that he's out on. But let's go ahead and talk about his skills. His first skill is going to be the Manslayer A, which will apply special attack for humanoid enemies for 1 turn, and this will also increases critical strength for 1 turn. So he will have a 100% increase against humanoid enemies for that 1 turn. This is a huge increase, and there are a lot of humanoid enemies in the game. So more often than not, you're going to be able to get the skill off. However, there is that drawback of if you are going against something that's not a humanoid enemy, then he's going to be lacking in the damage department, and it does only last 1 turn. Now, it is on a 5-turn charge time at max level, so that's not too bad. But still, you do have your 1-turn burst there, which you ideally would like to have kill the enemy. And it's quite possible that you'll be able to do that with his kit. His second skill is going to be the Mind's Eye Fake C, which will apply evasion to himself for 1 turn, as well as increasing his critical strength for 3 turns. Then this will be a 32% increase to your critical strength at max level, and this will also be on a 5-turn charge time, so that's going to be very good. You'll be able to get a pretty constant increase to your critical strength, and then you can combo it in with his first skill when you're ready to do that burst. You do also have that 1 turn of evasion, which is going to be very helpful to survive attacks and noble phantasms, which is going to be nice because he has low HP due to his low stats, so you're going to need something in order to keep him alive. And finally, his third skill is going to be Swift and Powerful as a Falcon A. This will increase his critical star gather rate for 1 turn. So this will be a 500% increase at level 10 on a 3-turn charge time at maximum level, which is really good. Be able to recycle this quite often and make sure that he gets those stars ready for his burst turn. As for his passives, he only does have the one, and that is going to be the Presence Concealment C, which will increase his critical star generation rate by 8%. All in all, Okada has a pretty good set of skills. In my opinion, I think they're really nice. You can do a lot of damage with them. They're a little bit lacking in some departments. Like I said, if he's not going against a humanoid enemy, he will lose a lot of his damage capabilities, and even if you are, it's only going to last for 1 turn. So it's going to be burst, hit or miss really, and that's it. But overall, I think he does have a very solid set of skills, so I will give him 4 stars for that. As for his command cards and his Noble Phantasm, for his command card chains and his command card deck, he's going to have 2 quick, 2 arts, 1 buster, and they're going to be 4 hits on the quick, 2 hits on the arts, 1 hit on the buster, and 5 on his extra attack. So it's a pretty solid deck. It's going to be really nice. He has the quick cards for his crit ability as an assassin, and he does have the 2 arts cards there, to help with his Null Phantasm generation, which he is very sorely lacking in. He can make up for it by landing crits, and he does have the capability of doing arts chains, with his Null Phantasm being an arts card. So it does work really well for him in order to have only 2 quick and 2 arts instead of 3 quick, like most quick centered servants. But yeah, I think it's a good deck for him. And as for his command chains, for his damage, you're going to go Buster, Arts, Arts, Extra. For his Null Phantasm, you're going to need a little bit of help. You're going to have to go Arts with like a Friend Arts card, and then you're going to have to go his Arts, Arts. And that's only a 38% increase to the gauge, but that's not factoring in crits, which is where he's going to be very helpful. If you can land those crits on his arts attacks, then that will help his Null Phantasm be generated a lot faster. And really, that's the only way he's going to be able to be viable as a Null Phantasm user, because you're going to need a lot of help for that. So either bring in a servant that can increase his gauge, or just make sure you have a lot of stars so you can crit with. As for his crit ability and his star gain, I don't usually include Null Phantasms in this, but his Null Phantasm is really important to how this character works. So you're going to go his Null Phantasm and then quick extra, and you can get up to 39 stars for that. So speaking of his Null Phantasm, let's go ahead and take a look at it. And it's going to be an arts card, like I said, so you can do those arts chains, which will help increase your Null Phantasm on the rebound. So that'll be helpful. And it'll deal damage to a single enemy, so that'll be pretty good single target attack damage, especially if you combo it with his first skill. And his overcharge effect will increase his star drop rate for 3 turns. So this is where you're going to be able to get a lot of your stars for him. So you'll be able to increase the drop rate with this, and then you can use his 3rd skill to increase the absorption rate, and then his 1st and 2nd skill to increase his damage. So overall, he functions very well as a crit dealer, and you just have to hope you land those crits on your arts cards to get his Null Phantasm generated faster, and then you should have no issues. So for his damage capabilities, I am going to give him 4 stars. This is, of course, not counting the fact if you grail him. If you grail him and increase his stats, he'll be a little bit higher ranking, but assuming you don't grail him, you can still do some really good damage, really good single target damage that can compete with some of the higher 4-star, 5-star characters in the same category. So there's definitely that, especially if you're going against humanoid enemies, he definitely can shine there. For his crit ability, I am going to give him 4.5 stars. He has everything. He has a boost to all 3 of the different crit effects in the game, and 2 of them last for multiple turns. So you should be able to keep constant flow of stars with him. He is an assassin, so he will be able to generate high stars to begin with. So overall, he can do a lot of good damage with crits, and it'll help him in a lot of different ways. And as for his Null Phantasm, it is going to get 4 stars. He could do a really good amount of damage with a single target Null Phantasm, especially if you combo that with his first skill. And his overcharge effect is really good as well, being able to increase the drop rate for your stars, just to make sure you have a ton of stars so you can be able to get your crits off, which will help you generate your Null Phantasm faster. So pretty much as long as you get his Null Phantasm off the first time, you shouldn't have any issues making this character work pretty well. For his survivability, he is only going to get 3 stars. He does have that 1 full turn evasion, but outside of that, he doesn't really have anything else to keep him alive, and he does have those really low stats as a 3-star character. So that's definitely going to drag him down a little bit, but it is what it is, and most people do grail this character, which will raise his survivability by having higher stats. So that's up to you whether or not you want to do that, but as it stands, he only really does have that 1 turn of evasion, so he will die pretty quickly. The only question is, can you do his damage before he dies? And for his versatility, he is only going to get 2.5 stars. It's kind of low, but that's just, again, because he's a 3-star character. He can find his way into a lot of different teams, but you have to make sure those enemies you're going against are humanoid. Now, there are a lot of those in the game, so that'll definitely be a plus in his favor. But outside of that, he's really not going to be very helpful, but he can do a lot of damage in certain situations. And again, if you grail him, his versatility goes up immensely. Overall, that will give him a 3.7 out of 5. In my opinion, he is a very good character, especially as a 3-star character, and as I said multiple times in this video, he is definitely a character worth grailing. So if you do have a lot of grails, I would definitely throw a couple his way and level him up at least to, a gold level 80 servant. So yeah, as for the other banners that this character comes out in, really he doesn't come back very often. He's only come back twice in the game. The first time is going to be actually a couple months from now in September, for the Geomath event, which we may or may not even get. And the only other time he comes back is going to be for the rerun of the event that he's out right now, where he came out in. So really, you should pull for him. Make sure you get at least one copy. Preferably 2 or more copies. Very rare character, and he's a really good character too, so you should make sure that you get him. Anyway guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I have the links below to my Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and Discord, so feel free to check those out. And I'll leave you here with Okada's Noble Phantasm, and I'll see you guys next time.
おまん、わしを笑うたか？誰にもわしを笑わせんぞ！